Charlie Brown, now Charlie Brown.
I can't believe it. She must think I'm the most stupid person alive.
Come on, Charlie Brown. I'll hold the ball and you kick it.
Hold it? Ha! You'll pull it away and I'll land flat on my back and kill myself.
But Charlie Brown, it's Thanksgiving.
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, one of the greatest traditions we have is the Thanksgiving Day football game. And the biggest, most important tradition of all is the kicking off of the football.
Is that right?
Absolutely. Come on, Charlie Brown. It's a big honor for you.
Well, if it's that important, a person should never turn down a big honor. Maybe I should do it. Besides, she wouldn't try to trick me on a traditional holiday. This time I'm gonna kick that football clear to the moon!
Isn't it peculiar, Charlie Brown, how some traditions just slowly fade away?
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and welcome to the Coca-Cola Superspeedway for the 2019 NOFSRL Thanksgiving 500. Happy Thanksgiving everybody, it's gonna be a great race here today for the 5th official time. And I am really looking forward to this race. My favorite special event of the year here at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway in Concord, Massachusetts. It is going to be a fun race with the pit strategy, with the pack racing, with the ridiculous high speeds, just like it always is every year on Thanksgiving morning. And I'm alongside Alex Boxiner once again. First time I've been alongside this guy since the last special event we did all the way back in June. And Alex, you know what happened last year with all the pit strategy and the passing and the pack racing and all that? I'm going to ask you once again, what is the strategy to win a race like this considering how long it is and how fast these guys are going?
Well, it does sound like a same answer as what was said yesterday, but I'm basically going to say the same thing I did. You always got to stay out of those big wrecks, you always got to keep a good drafting partner on hand, and you always got to be aware of what particular racing line has the advantage. You could be on the inside and it works fine, but once that outside line gets going, you might as well stay on that outside, or even if the inside line gets going, you gotta stay on that inside, otherwise you're just going to start falling to the back, losing momentum and losing position. As you said before, this is one of your favorite special events out of the whole year, and of course I am back once again, which is great, and yeah, I do love this special event as well, so let's see what we can do, and let's see how this race measures out today.
It's going to be a wild one. 50 laps around this 3-mile super speedway, 150 miles. There will be pit stops. They're set to 2x, so going to be a little bit more frequent than how you'd normally expect them to be in real life, but that is the frequency we've always had for this race, so you've seen prior Thanksgiving 500s. You know what to expect when it comes to pit strategy. I still am coming off a little bit of a cold the Thursday before Thanksgiving, so that might be why I sound a little bit rough, but hey, I'm still good to go. Alex is still good to go. We're still good to go here for the 2019 Thanksgiving 500. On the pole position is my man Nicolas Samudio. Won this race in 2017 as he blew an engine coming to the line. Still won the race as it happened. One of the wildest finishes we have ever had in the Thanksgiving 500. Do you think he's going to have a shot at winning his second Thanksgiving 500? I know he's starting on the pole position, but it is very difficult to stay up front at a place like this, especially considering that inside lane is where you need to be, and these guys tend to drift up on the outside where there isn't any grip.
I can definitely see Nicolas Samudio having a good shot at it, but I definitely can't say he would win it right off the bat. As you said before, usually a lot of these leaders will drift up to the outside where the line and the runs don't really get as good as they usually do. But if anything, here are my picks, and I know you said pick one yesterday, and I never could, but I'm going to pick two today just for the fact I couldn't pick one yesterday. My picks today, I'm just going to go for the dark horse on one, which is Bobo Jones. He starts a little deeper in the field, but I've seen what he's done in the James and Dean Wickard shootout, and I can hopefully see out of nowhere, maybe he's going to be a real dark horse in this event. And my second pick for the day, I got to go with my man Zachary Fitzwater. I mean, he knows how to get it done in any NR race around anywhere, of course, with the modifieds, with any other series that he runs, and especially at these special events. I can definitely see him pulling it off today, maybe getting his first Thanksgiving 500 victory.
Well, turkeys are very popular on Thanksgiving, so I understand why you got it confused with the current truck series, but either way, it's a really good pick on Zachary Fitzwater. He starts 4th in number 9 here today. We're ready to get these guys to roll off here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. And on the front row, Nicolas Samudio with the fastest time in qualifying. The 2017 winner will be starting on the front row alongside a driver making his first career Napa Fam start here today. If you remember the 2016 event, Jordan Lopez won this thing in his first career Napa Fam start. That is Logan York in the number 02. On the outside, the guy who's won a Daytona 500 and Indianapolis 250, and this race as well. So, big moment there for Logan York in his first career Napa Fam start. Jeremiah Duane, one of his first few starts on Napa Fam, will be starting alongside Zachary Fitzwater in row number 2. This is a race I can definitely see Fitzwater winning. He's won the Daytona 500 before. Will he get the Thanksgiving 500? Mark Davidson alongside the 25, the Fisher G. We know how good Fisher G is. He is dominating him in the championship standings over in the Turkey Hill Truck Series right now. And that might translate to a race victory in the Thanksgiving 500. Last year's Thanksgiving 500 winner, Luke Rainey. And another fun fact, all 4 of the past champions of this event are in this event this year. Luke Rainey being the most recent, won it in the number 10 machine. The last lap pass. The inside of Luke Rainey is the number 6 machine. That car driven by Mitchell Collins. And then we got ourselves a guy I am hyper excited to be in this race. That is Cameron Garlington. This is his first start of the year. It's surprising for me to be saying that. He's one of the long-time Napa Fan veterans. Kind of in semi-retirement, but great to have him back, especially in a big race like this. He's alongside the number 90 of Eli Bright. It is one of his few Napa Fan wins has come here at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway last year in the NRLOA 250. You see the rest of the drivers there in the starting lineup on the side of your screen, so you know who's who. And I think we're ready to get this one started. Nicolas Samudio and Logan York on the front row. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody! Let's get this party started. The Thanksgiving 500 is green from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway.
Coming to the end of lap 1 here, you can already see Luke Rainey making passes for the lead here. He is on the inside of Mark Davidson. And as you can see, Cameron Garlington getting his nose into the mix as well. You can kind of see how the pack racing is really shaping up here thus far in this event. As you can see, Cameron Garlington to the point, but only for a limited time. As you can see, another driver coming to the inside, battling for the lead, and another one also. That is Ace Garcia in the number 18. You can already see right off the bat, 3 wide for the lead a lot. A lot of passing so far in this event.
And already we've had maybe 7 or 8 lead changes. One very interesting aspect of this race is we do not run restrictor plates. These guys are going 240 miles per hour around this place constantly. It's a difficult race to win because of those high speeds, but these guys usually do a pretty good job. We usually do not see Wreckfest in the Thanksgiving 500, which is always great to see. Leading lap number 2, the number 11 machine of Ashland Boyd. Recently won a race in the Krispy Kreme Series, but he's going to lose the lead right there to number 20, Bradley Ream. First career Napa Fan start as a driver. Of course, he is an owner in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, owns the number 22 of Andrew Ross. And he is now carrying the number 20 to the lead here at Coca-Cola. And how about Logan York? He started on the outside pole, and he's found his way back to the race lead to the inside of the number 20. Logan York in his first career Napa Fan start, going to take the lead away from the number 20.
Yeah, great job for Logan York here in this event. He's doing a really good job trying to mix it up a little with the pros and even some of the semi-sophomore drivers. As here we go, another pass for the lead. That's going to be the number 60 of Zach Winkle to the inside of Logan York. He'll take the lead, and following right behind him, don't count out that number 20 of Bradley Reen. As you said before, he's an owner, and he's really showing what it takes to be a driver on this track in this huge event.
Bradley Ream able to stay on that inside for a short amount of time, but it's hard to beat this guy. Defending Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion Nathan Baird dominated the Chick-fil-A Cup Series earlier this year, clinched the championship 2 races early, and he wants another big one. A Thanksgiving 500 race victory's up to second. Number 88 right behind him, another first-timer. That is Landon Smith Jr. in his first career Napa Fan start. He's going to push Nathan Baird to the inside of the number 60 for the race lead.
Yeah, really good job and a really good drafting work between Nathan Baird and the number 88 of Landon Smith Jr. So they're really doing good so far, but it's only for a limited time. As you can see, Landon Smith Jr. going to the inside of Nathan Baird, going to try and take a peek. He will to go for the race lead, and to the inside, and the pass is done. Landon Smith Jr. to the point here in the Thanksgiving 500.
And I like the word you used yesterday to describe this race, Powerball. That's pretty much how it is, and it is definitely very evident why that word could be used to describe this event. But these guys pass with the race lead very frequently. It's all about being in the right place at the right time. However, if we get some green flag pit stops, it might be a little bit more on how well you do on the pit lane and when you come down the pit lane. So the strategy will come into effect if we get a green flag run for these guys to come down the pit lane. I believe the fuel window is about 15 laps here, so it's not too long of a fuel window here. So they're going to have to come down at least twice in this race, most likely 3 times. One driver I'm definitely looking out for, though, in this race is Logan York. He's been able to stay in the top 5, and that is difficult to do at a place like this. And that number 02 machine, he's been doing a great job. Number 14 moving his way through the field. That is Jeremiah Duane, one of his first few starts on Napa Fan. And there goes Nathan Baird to the inside for the race lead, and the number 26.
Yeah, Nathan Baird doing a really good job. He's staying behind the number 88 of Landon Smith Jr., keeping that draft, and he will do that. And to follow will be the 02 of Logan York. As you said before, Logan York has never fallen out of the top 5 thus far in this race, and that just kind of proves the talent, the skill, and everything else that this driver has under his belt. And I am honestly hoping that he makes more starts heading into later half of this year, maybe even next year races.
Of course, this is probably the last opportunity he'll get to race in 2019, but 2020 is just around the corner. A lot of opportunities for him to maybe get a ride in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, or maybe Turkey Hill Series coming back in 2022, and definitely looking forward to that. Fisher G doing good in the other Turkey Hill Series, the Turkey Hill Truck Series. He's up to second in the number 25, and he's one of the longer-running drivers running up front right now. Jeremiah Dway with a great run. Bradley Ream helping him. Another guy we haven't yet to see him this race, number 12 of Johnny Gardner. Great to see this guy running up front. And if you saw the NOFSRL special event we did last week on the NOFSRL Sports Channel, he was in that race, did a great job driving the number 16 truck. And he was actually driving that truck, but here he is, moving his way through the field inside the top 5 right now in the number 12 machine. Number 11, Ashland Boyd also up here. Christopher Alvey, another guy to watch out for. 97 of Trey Wright inside the top 10. Cameron Garlington to the inside of Fisher G. Fisher G really loves it on the outside lane right there.
Yeah, and as I have said before, time and time again, the outside line on this track doesn't usually get a good run, and it's all about staying in the right line to be able to get the good run and make passes for positions. If you're staying on the outside, you're really going to get freight trained and sent more down deep in the field. And so far right now, it doesn't seem to be in the case of Logan Smith. He has had a commanding lead thus far, about a 1 or 2 car length lead over second place. So, I mean, heck, you know, Logan Smith, he's definitely being a driver that has talent and is showing that even in his first start, he's ready to mix it with these veterans.
Hate to burst your bubble, but that's actually Logan York, not Logan Smith. I want to make sure we get the name right. Logan York. leading this race. Another guy who's been up here quite a bit.
I was close.
Number 20 of Bradley Ream. Watch out for him. And we always allude to these first-time drivers doing an excellent job in their first career starts, especially when it comes to special events. Of course, who can forget 2016 when Jordan Lopez won this event? And we're seeing that of Logan York and Bradley Ream right now. They've been dominant in this race so far. Lap 10 of 50. Here comes Ashlyn Boyd on the inside lane. And one thing I'm noticing, this pack is a little bit spread out. A little bit more so than usual, I think. So that's definitely something that's different. It's also cloudy. I think these guys are going a little bit faster than what they usually do in this event. And it's allowing these guys to spread out just a little bit more because you can see the average speed right now is 244 miles per hour. It is definitely a fast Coca-Cola Superspeedway out there, and these guys are definitely laying it all on the line here for the Thanksgiving 500. We're closing in on possible pit stops in this race, and these guys who are currently running up front, they are going to be in position to dominate this race if they can come down the pit lane with where they're currently running, because they're going to be up front. They're going to have an advantage on the rest of the field coming down the pit lane at the front of the field. But we still got a little while before that happens. We'll go through the field here, pick out a few guys. Not sure where Nicolas Samudio is, but he's fallen all the way back after starting on the pole. He's got Jesse Turner right behind him. A lot of the guys who were longtime veterans kind of deep in the field. There's Cameron Garlington and the number 42 back in there as well. Ace Garcia's back in here, 2016 winner, and the 2015 winner on the outside lane here. Jolarvin Alonso and Jordan Lopez are there. Justice Idell and Zachary Fitzwater all the way at the back of the field. I'm wondering if he hit the outside wall at some point, but an issue on the number 9 all the way up the end of the field, almost 3 seconds off the race lead. Not exactly what we would expect out of Zachary Fitzwater. It's been the rookies pretty much dominating this race so far. Nathan Baird has taken the lead back away, and he's going to lead lap number 12. I definitely watch out for Nathan Baird in this race. He's a Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion. He knows how to get it done here on the circuit of Napa Fan.
Yeah, and I wouldn't doubt Nathan Baird a lot in this event. I mean, he is the Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion, don't forget. At the same time, you also got to watch out for these rookies. A lot of these rookies, and some of them making even their first Napa Fan or first Thanksgiving 500 start, a lot of them are trying to show these veterans, are like, hey, veterans, you're kind of, I'm not going to say it in a bad way, but you're kind of past your time. It's time for the new generation to come in and just show you how we run the show. And so far, it just seems to be that way at the moment.
And we got some strategy playing right here. Bradley Ream, all by himself, coming down the pit lane.
Honestly, that might be either a good or a bad call right there. And here's why I say that. Just for the fact of, if you pit early, there is the possibility that if drivers are pitting the next lap, you could get right back into traffic, right back into the draft, and you might have the possibility of coming out of nowhere and possibly taking the lead in this event. But it could also be bad at the same time, just for the fact, as you can see right now, the field is down the back straightaway, and if the team slips up on the pit stops, chances are you're going to be put a lap down, and you're going to be struggling the rest of the race.
I would expect a lot more guys to come down this time. They got to be careful coming down this pit lane. We got some guys on the outside lane with a late entry to the pit lane, and in the wall, we got a wreck. That's the 21 machine, Dylan Young, along with the 5 of Trey Smith. And the caution's gonna fly here with a majority of the field coming down the pit lane. Did that wreck occur before they crossed the line? It did, so thankfully, everyone should be able to remain on the lead lap with this. Jeremiah Duane, the race leader, with the 99 of Christopher Alphaby, Noah Clifton, the top 3. All of these guys have yet to make a pit stop. But Bradley Ream might get put a lap down. Nope, he will not. He was ahead of these guys, and it actually started that lap before they crossed the line. So I would imagine that everyone will remain on the lead lap here. The only thing is that the guys who came down the pit lane just before that yellow came out, they are going to be the new race leaders of this event. And that is going to leave the number 26 of Nathan Baird most likely to lead us to the restart once we get to that restart here in the Thanksgiving 500. But our first wreck of the day, thankfully, it was only a 2-car incident. Now, we actually had the 28 also go around. Thomas Troxel got spun by somebody entering the pit lane. But I don't believe it was a major accident because Troxel was driving away. Of course, the big incident was between Dylan Young in the number 21 and Trey Smith in the 5. Here are the rest of the drivers coming down the pit lane. they actually might be able to beat the rest of the guys who came down before that caution, and we could be seeing whoever wins the race off here to be the race leader on the restart.
Anything is possible in this case, but honestly, I can kind of see more of the guys that have already pitted maybe getting to the front before anyone else on the pit lane does. Remember, these cars go in excess of 200 miles an hour, so there is the high probability, and as you can see right there, Nathan Baird is going to be picked up as the leader.
He will, so a lot of these guys coming off the pit lane, they are going to be behind the rest of these guys. Tough break for them, but thankfully no one got caught a lap down. Except for Bradley. Actually, no, Bradley Ream also was able to get back on the lead lap. Only driver a lap down right now is Dylan Young. That's such a tough break for him. I believe it's his first start of the year on Napa Fam. And I don't even see him on the racetrack anymore. It looks like his day is done. Tough break for the number 21. A little bit better than last year. Last year we had a wreck on the second lap of the event. Knocked out a lot of guys. This was a smaller wreck. It wasn't a big one. Only 2 cars involved. And a little bit later on in the race as well. But either way, Nathan Baird is your race leader, picking right where he left off. He's actually not driving right now in any series. He'll be coming back in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series next year, though. But Nathan Baird picking right where he left off after a Chick-fil-A Cup Series championship, looking to get a Thanksgiving 500 under his resume. We'll have to see what he does on the restart, but first, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day in the Thanksgiving 500. We actually have some guys coming down the pit lane to top off on fuel. Actually, a lot of guys. So this is an interesting strategy, and I think these guys might be doing this mainly because they know that the strategy might work out in their favor, that they might only have to do one more step before the end of this race. It's possible for those guys if they can stretch it long enough. But a lot of guys deciding to top off before the restart. But let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the caution. The starting order will be a little bit different. Restarting order, I should say, will be a little bit different once we get to the restart here at Coca-Cola. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day here at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Well, this is what happened, and so much is going on. So many drivers entering the pit lane unsafely. The 2 guys involved in the accident that triggered the caution weren't even coming down the pit lane. Trey Smith and Dylan Young. Dylan Young just got into Trey Smith. Smith had checked up, and Young took a hard hit to the inside wall, and then watch out what happens as these guys come in. Max Newworth got into Shane Lake, and Shane Lake hit the pit road wall hard. The 4 of Eric Monaco also got around, and so many of these guys actually went around. Troxel, Luke Rainey with a lot of damage, last year's champion of this race. Heavy contact on the 10. Troxel went around, but I believe he's going to be able to continue. Ace Garcia in the 18 also got spun as they were trying to enter the pit lane.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate for a lot of these guys. You know, they come in here with high hopes, and especially those of Luke Rainey when he really wants to try and get a second Thanksgiving 500, as well as drivers like Justin Zeidel in the number 24 that got messed up and all that clog, that wants to try and continue the legacy that has been the past couple seasons. And then, of course, other drivers that get caught up in the wrecks that just kind of made this whole kind of cluster go off. And it's just very unfortunate for a lot of these guys. You know, they put their hard work into it, and in the end, it can all end in just basically the snap of a finger.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate reality of super speedway racing. One little mistake could end your day.
Alright, so here's our deal with Shane Lake as he's coming down the pit lane here. And you can just see unsafe entries. That's what's been the problem here at Coca-Cola. And it's created this whole cluster that unfortunately has just really messed up the race for a lot of these drivers, and especially that number 44 of Shane Lake.
Yeah, Shane Lake came from the second lane down, and it looked like it was 3 separate incidents. It was trying to come down the pit lane. I saw the 40 machine of Jonathan Logan get into Ace Garcia. They both went spinning. Of course, you saw what happened to Thomas Troxel, and then the 4 machine of Eric Monaco got hit by Shane Lake. Shane Lake was the one who initially caused that, and he got the worst of it. I would imagine Shane Lake's going to be out of the race after that accident right there. One guy who's not out of the race, he hasn't been out of anything in quite some time. That's Nathan Baird, number 26 machine. Won the race off the pit lane, decided to stay out and not top off like a lot of guys did. So a lot of guys decided to top off there under the caution flag. So very interesting strategy out of a lot of guys it could be a fuel mileage race if it stays green the whole way through to the end. So we'll have to see how it all goes down. Nathan Baird, your race leader here in the Thanksgiving 500. Let's see what he does on the restart at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway.
All right, here we go for the restart here. Nathan Baird, the leader, alongside in second place, and I will get it right this time, Logan York. The number 02, third place, is going to be the number 25, and that driver in particular is Fisher G. Fourth place, it's going to be the number 77 of Max Newworth, a veteran in this event. And rounding out your top 5 in this race, it's going to be Erdelarvin Alonso in this race. So, I mean, the restart is going to be pretty interesting. Single file, a lot of these drivers are going to try and get into a pack as soon as possible. So, here's my question. Who's going to pair up where when it comes to the restart?
I think it's everybody for himself in this race. Being a special event, there aren't any points on the line. Everybody wants to be in victory lane at the end of the day, and that's what Nathan Baird's going to try to do here on the restart. It's going to be interesting because a lot of these guys have not run up front in this race, like Max Newworth and Erdelarvin Alonso. They stayed out and did not top off. And that includes Nathan Baird, who comes to the line. Green flag back in the air in the Thanksgiving 500 lap 19 of 50 underway.
And as you can see already, just the way the restart goes, people are trying to start to pair up, and there goes Fisher G in the number 25 to the inside of Logan York, has Max Newworth, Erdelarvin Alonso, and others just following in line. And it looks like they're going to try and split up here heading down the backstretch. Max Newworth and Erdelarvin Alonso pairing up right there, but Newworth going to go to the outside. He's going to now pair up with Fisher G, who wants to try and get to the inside of Nathan Baird here for the lead. Is he going to make the pass? Looks like he will. New leader, give it to Fisher G in the number 25. He's going to lead lap number 20 with Max Newworth following in behind, along with Erdelarvin Alonso and everyone else that decided to take the inside line here on this restart.
One thing I would like to mention, there's going to be a split strategy between a lot of these guys in this event. And these guys you see up front right now, they are not as good on fuel as guys back in the field, like the 12 of Johnny Garner, Jesse Turner, all these guys back in here. I believe we actually had a couple of guys come down the pit lane and it split the pack up. The number 14 machine of Jeremiah Dwayne and Bradley Riemann, the 20. Issues on those machines. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and show you guys who's out of the race. Ryan Durrani in the 75 with an issue. And of course the 44 Shane Lake is out. Same with Dylan Young. We saw him get involved in an accident as well. Christopher Alphabet to the race lead in number 99.
Yeah,
but
Christopher
one thing I
Alphabet.
would like to mention, another thing I'd like to mention, is that these guys run so fast. They rev up the engines like crazy. Engine failures and engine problems are very common here at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. I mean, just look at 2017. Happened to Nicolas Samudio at the perfect time, mind I tell you, but most of the time it doesn't happen right when you're coming to the checkered flag. So
Yeah.
that might have been an issue on the 14 and the 20. Cameron Garlington, I believe, might have been caught up in one of those accidents. Tough break for Garlington in his first start of the year, and Luke Rainey, last year's champion, also caught up. Does not look like either of those drivers are going to win it in 2019.
Yeah, so far right now, Christopher Alphabet still in the lead here as he's going to lead lap number 22. Here comes Nathan Baird to the inside, and it looks like there's going to be drivers to follow him as well. As you can see, 0-1 of Noah Clifton to the front, and Nathan Baird going to follow in. Baird wants that top spot again, not to mention also running in fourth. He's really trying to focus right now, and that's Zach Winkle in the number 60. He's going to try and see if he can maybe take it 3 wide here. He's going to do it, actually. I thought he was going to think better of it, but he's going to try and take it 3 wide with Christopher Alphabet and Nathan Baird, but Alphabet thinks better of it. Now here comes Logan York to try and make it 3 wide between Nathan Baird and Zach Winkle. I mean,
inside lane does not work when you exit turn number 4. It's really hard to get a run down the front straightaway here. A little bit easier down the back stretch, though. Kind of interesting because both corners are equal, both straightaways are equal. Could be a lot to do with, could have a lot to do with the wind speed, possibly. Wind going in a certain direction for a lot of these guys. But you see right here, these guys going to the inside. And the 0-2 of Logan York, 3 wide to the inside. Baird made the move on Clifton, then Logan York made the move. And the 0-2 back out front here at Coca-Cola.
yeah, I
A
mean,
lot of guys up here who we're seeing quite a bit of up front right now. And you can see the split strategy right here. This pack has really fallen off. They're led by Mark Davidson. They're about 5 seconds off the race lead right now. They are going to need a caution if they're going to get back in this thing. The number 2 machine of Adam Garcia and the 8 of Nicolas Samudio are all by themselves. They don't have any drafting partners with them. But then the number 31 of Joe Radkowski, the last guy in the lead draft, with Jordan Lopez and Sergio Larvin Alonso, a couple of past winners of this race. Still in the lead draft here at Coca-Cola. Logan York remaining out front. 43 machine up here as well. We have yet to mention Owen Miles in this race. He's never won before in Napa Fan, but he's done a great job in the Turkey Hill Truck Series for American Motorsports. And here he is with a great opportunity at a race victory in one of the biggest races of the year.
Yeah, the way Owen Miles is performing right now, he's doing a really good job. He's kind of really showing a lot of these veterans in different series that he's basically here to compete. And the same thing with a lot of others. Here's Fisher G, another seasoned veteran, in second place with Nathan Baird going to the inside. Has a little help from Max Newworth in the draft. And, I mean, look at the midfield. It's amazing how all this drafting is just coming to play in this race.
These guys are going so fast around this Coca-Cola Superspeedway. It's hard to believe they keep it together the way they do. We've only seen one caution in this race so far, but we're halfway, and Logan York has been a dominant driver in this race. Will he win his first career Napa Fam start? Just ask Jordan Lopez. That feels good, doesn't it?
It definitely
been in this race
does.
for the past 4 years now. This is his 4th Thanksgiving 500. Won his first ever start in 2016, and here he is in the lead draft.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm telling you right now, there's a first-time winner for everything, and you can definitely tell Jordan Lopez that he'll believe you for a second. But even then, you know, you never know, and you can never call the race here early enough, as we only have another 25 laps till the end, and the fact that there's a lead change almost every single lap, anything is possible. And as you can see, it's true, as Nathan Baird back up to the lead, you can see Max Newworth battling for second.
Oh, we got contact! That was the number 50. Bobo Jones has found his way inside the top 5. The number 17 of Alex Russell is also here, and they got into each other.
Man, that's something you don't want to see on a super speedway, because it can really put a big stress on you, because you have to try and keep this car under control. And as the speeds are getting close to 250 miles an hour, you really got to just be careful when you're running on these super speedways. Otherwise, you'd either mess up yourself or another person's day.
And that's Christian Vargas in the number 66 machine, and here we go. Lap traffic, Cameron Garlington and Luke Rainey. Both these guys are seasoned veterans. Both guys are IndyCar champions, actually. But
wow.
They are not going to help this pack out. 3 guys pull away, Alonso, Russell, and Baird. But they're blocking both lanes of this major pack right now, and I can imagine these guys are not too happy. Newworth going to get around Rainey. Clifton, Hartnett's there. Alpha B's going to be there. Owen Miles. Jordan Lopez as well. But this is definitely not a good scenario for guys like the number 40 of Jonathan Logan, who's found his way back inside the top 10 for a short moment. Fisher G got caught behind. Zach Winkle got caught behind. Bobo Jones. Adam Garcia in the number 2. And this is going to split the pack even more. And this might open the door for these guys to possibly close back in. They are 6 seconds off. But they might find a way to the lead pack before the next cycle of pit stops if it all shakes out in their favor. Back to the race lead. Alex Russell to the inside of Nathan Baird for the top position. We have yet to see Alex Russell in this race. But here he is going for the race lead on the Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion.
Yeah, Alex Russell doing an amazing job here so far in this event. He found the way, and he found a right time to strike, and so far right now...
Alonso's going to come down. Nathan Baird's going to come down as well. Do you think it's a good strategy to come down early?
Anything is possible in this one. It's either you can come down early or you can come down late. If you're going to try and undercut a lot of these drivers, my recommendation, you probably should. Just for the fact of you could create the draft, and especially for the fact of what you've kind of seen so far in this event with the way the pack is split up. By the time everyone has done their pit cycle, anyone who has rotated through is probably going to come back and be the leader.
The guys coming down the pit lane right there. Alex Russell, we'll have to see if he comes down. Because all those guys who came down, I think, just before the caution came out. So they have been on the racetrack longer than anybody on their tank of fuel. These guys coming down, Alex Russell, Emmanuel Hartnett, Max Newworth, Joe Rutkowski, Fisher G, Bubbo Jones, Zach Winkle, and Logan York back in there. Cameron Garlish in a lap down, Zachary Fitzwater, Mitchell Collins, and the 88 machine of Landon Smith Jr.
Yeah,
Gives
a lot
away
of these
to Owen
guys.
Miles being the race leader. A couple guys about to lose a lap. Number 4, Eric Monaco, Thomas Troxel in the 28. Yeah, but they're still a little ways ahead of these guys.
Yeah, anything is possible in this race so far with the pit strategy coming into play. And I could definitely say that for a fact. I mean, you see people trying to start to undercut, and here we go. Looks like the lead pack is going to pit. Owen Miles, followed by the 0-1 of Noah Clifton, the 1 of Jordan Lopez, and others going to try and come down here, see if they can be able to continue a lead pack in this. And I mean, so far, with the way the single file has kind of just been fanning out here and the way the packs have been fanning out, looks like it's trying to keep the entirety of this event kind of at bay, if you would say, throughout this little green flag cycle. As you saw from the first one, kind of just went a little hectic, but as you can see now, everything's kind of gone calm, and there is Nathan Baird in the 26. I presume he will be the leader.
It'll be Alex
Unless
Russell,
Alex
number 17, out ahead. I'd imagine Nathan Baird's going to have a full head of steam and drive on the outside, so you are right. Nathan Baird with Hair Gel Irvin Alonso right behind him. They're going to be the two leaders once this whole thing cycles through, most likely. We'll have to see what these guys do coming off the pit lane. And they're led by Owen Miles in the 43. And I would imagine that Nathan Baird and Hair Marvin Alonso are going to be able to drive around these guys. We'll have to see. This is interesting. We had a whole green flag set of pit stops without any caution. It's going to split the field up tremendously. We're going to have many smaller packs out here. Noah Clifton and Owen Miles are here as well. You see Nathan Baird and Hair Marvin Alonso coming into the frame. Boy, that was close right there. Athlete was coming back on the racetrack, almost got into Alonso. And I'd imagine Alonso's not going to be too happy with him right there. But there goes Nathan Baird, going to drive around Owen Miles for the race lead. These guys are going to close back in on him. There's no way you can stay out here single file with no help and be able to keep the race lead. Another thing I would like to mention, there's going to be another pit stop in this race. They're not going to be able to make it to the end of the race on the tank of gas they have right now. So they're going to have to do that one more time before the checkered flag flies.
And I can definitely see that for a fact, because I've seen it in the past and I can see it now. There's a lot of possibilities going into this race, and as you can see at the time, the number 32, who was the provisional leader, coming off the pit lane. So Nathan Baird, once again, back out in front in this event, and he's been doing pretty good thus far in this whole race. He's been one of the dominant forces also to have been reckoned with. And oh, the lap car holding up Alonso and Russell and many others in that pack. Looks like a lot of drivers are not going to be happy by the end of this one, as Alex Russell, I should say, not Alexander in that one, my apology.
Yeah, you know what, he has both names, it doesn't really matter. But either way, Alonso, like you mentioned, got held up there. This is a big one for Alonso. He's kind of had a stagnant career past couple of years. He won the first official race here at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway in the Thanksgiving 500 2015. He'd love to be the first driver to win 2 of them. And he's the kind of guy who can do it, too. And then number 22 machine. Watch out for these guys, too. I think the number 1, of Jordan Lopez with Christian Vargas, they might have something, especially if this thing stays green. Get another caution, or if this thing stays green, get another cycle of pit stops, which we will have. I think these guys might be able to play a little bit of strategy and possibly jump ahead of the race leaders right now. But either way, it's starting to shape up for the finish of this race. They are spread out throughout the entire field. A lot of guys not even gotten the chance to see the front. But this guy, I've seen a lot of it. Nathan Baird, the number 26. Such a solid performance out of this guy here today. Do you think he's going to be in victory lane for the Thanksgiving 500, or will it be somebody else in 16 laps?
I have a strong possibility that it's going to be Nathan Baird at the end of this one. As you've been saying from time and time again today, he is the Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion, and coming off that championship and entering today, still having kind of that little hot streak that he has going on, and that confidence, it's really helping him boost his performance in this race today. But you can never be too sure about who's going to end up, because once all the lead lap cars get around the lap cars, as you can see right now, they're going to come in with a full head of steam, and they're just going to completely, at this point, just fly by Nathan Baird at that point.
You definitely got to watch out for this number 17 as well. Alex Russell has been really strong late in the going. Noah Clifton, Owen Miles, Alonso in the 22. Christopher Alphabet, a dark horse for this race victory as well. There goes Russell. They have caught, and the caution's out. Yellow flag out here at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. And let me tell you, my friend, this changes everything because everyone's going to get bunched up. They're going to come down the pit lane right on the fuel window. And this race has completely changed hands. Alex Russell wins the race back to the line. But now everybody has a chance. And this is what happened last year. This is what gave Luke Rainey his race victory. Rainey was never in the lead pack until the end. The caution came out and he drove through the field. It's such a possible thing to happen here at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway, but that is great news for Landon Smith Jr., Max Neuwerf, Jordan Lopez, Eric Monaco, I believe is a lap down. So we cannot count him into the fray. But Johnny Gardner's there. He's got a shot. The number 60 machine. Zach Winkle.
Yeah, Zach Winkle.
Joe Rutkowski. Jonathan Logan in the 40 machine. Fisher G. Mason Brown. I want to say Matthew Brown, but it's not Matthew Brown. It's Mason Brown. His first career Napa fan start. He's up here. Adam Garcia, Trey Wright. All of these guys, Justin Zidell, they all have a chance. We've not seen anything of the veterans in this race. Samudio's back in there, but he's still on the lead lap, so he'll still have a shot. Mark Davidson behind him.
Everyone.
Zachary Fitzwater's going to get back into this, I think. Oh, no! He just hit the 11 of Ashland Boyd. He's got a ton of damage. Oh, my. That's going to end his chances. And we got more contact. That's Noah Clifton. Wow. He got caught off by the 32 of Mason Brown. And he is sideways on his pit stall right now. Gonna back that thing up, but he's gonna lose a ton of ground. What a disaster for Noah Clifton. He was one of these guys dominating this race. Jesse Turner now has damage, and he might have been one of the guys involved in the accident. Because I know I saw Thomas Troxel and Emmanuel Hartnett down. Cole Sampson also down the pit lane. This pit lane, man, it's been a disaster today.
It's been busy also, don't forget about that. I mean, you've had people involved in wrecks, you've had people taking risks, and just, man, it's been quite a hectic one. It's even a hectic one now at the end of the event because everyone's trying to make the move right.
Well, Owen Miles won the race off, so he's going to have the advantage. Alex Russell, Max Neuwerf, Herjo Larvin Alonso, and Christopher Alphabet. But that was a terrible, terrible round of pit stops for those guys. Almost thought Samudio had damage, but I don't think he does. He's still good. But Jeremiah Dwayne, the 88, Landon Smith Jr. all torn up. Ashland Boyd as well. And then we saw what happened to Fitzy.
Yeah.
And I think he's out of the race.
That's
going to knock out a lot of guys. Such a heartbreaker for so many guys coming down the pit lane. These guys coming down right here as they're on the tail end of the lead lap, but they will go a lap down as they make their pit stops. Logan York also on the tail end of the lead lap. He's going to restart with Bradley Ream on the front row. And the 43 of Owen Miles leads the race here in the Thanksgiving 500, and a lot of guys now lap down in this thing, including, will eventually include the number 9 of Zachary Fitzwater, I do believe, as he's got damage to his machine. That sent him to the garage. I do not see him on the pit lane anywhere, so we'll have to check and see where he goes, but a lot of guys now knocked out in this one. Such a heartbreaker for so many guys so far, and it's unfortunate to see that be the case, but it's unfortunately what happens, and hopefully we'll not have to see that again in this one. That should be it. Either way, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring up the caution. We're going to review the pit stops there and see who got knocked out. Well, a lot to review here in the Thanksgiving 500 from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you have a good day here on this Thanksgiving Thursday.
Yes.
So this is a very extensive accident. This is what brought out the caution. Thomas Troxel, lap down, I believe, at this point. Definitely has a slow race car. And the closing rate between him and Jordan Lopez. I'm going to tell you, that's all that happened to Lopez. Lopez should be able to continue in this thing. Troxel loses control of the race car. At this point, the caution is not out, but he hits the apron, comes back up, and Emmanuel Hartnett. Such a tough break for Hartnett's first start of the season. And he is all torn up as that occurred right there. Troxel almost went upside down there. He went upside down later on. Two more guys get involved in this accident. One of them being Jesse Turner, the other one being Jeremiah Duane. Turner was on the lead lap. Hartnett was also on the lead lap at the time of this accident. Jeremiah Duane was not. Same with Troxel. The tough break for Thomas Troxel there in the number 28 machine, but you're going to see it right here. Jesse Turner right there into the 28, flips him upside down, and it was a car sandwich right there.
Yeah.
The leftovers aren't until tomorrow, guys. Jeremiah Duane getting into him as well. Such a tough break for those guys, and Jesse Turner in the outside wall hard.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of hard hits in that one particular incident. You had the 28 of Thomas Troxel, first initial impact with Emmanuel Hartnett and that whole deal, and now Jesse Turner, another hard impact, and he kind of just had nowhere to go after he got hit other than just straight into the outside wall, which, as I said before, this is bad luck for Jesse Turner right there. He's done all good all day, and he probably would have been a dark horse for the competition, but now, junk. All right, here we go. And as you can see, Thomas Troxel and Jordan Lopez get together. Lopez just a little bit of contact, and look at that impact. Thomas Troxel had a hard impact. Luckily, this is a video game. And then, of course, Jesse Turner nowhere to go. And cars start flipping over. And this is just because of the high rate of speed in this event. And now we get on to what is going to be what I could probably call the entire pit lane disaster.
And this is what Alex is referring to. And they did a good job up until Fitzwater. And I literally just made a comment on Fitzwater saying that, oh yeah, he's got a chance of doing this. And right as I say that, he runs right into Ashland Boyd, destroys his race car. He's out of the race because of that. Noah Clifton also had an issue, and I think it was coming off the pit lane. He was in his pit stall, and Mason Brown was trying to come in. That's what happened to him. And Mason Brown, his first career start, I would imagine Clifton is not going to be too happy the way they come down the pit lane here. A little unrealistic, unfortunately, but it's just the way it goes. A lot of contact, though. Ashland Boyd also had issues, and of course that was after he got into, or Fitzwater got into him. He actually got into Max Newworth. We missed it there, but he got into Max Newworth, and he has damage. And Landon Smith Jr. also with damage in the 88 machine. Tough break for those guys. But it's going to set up a very wild, wild show here with Owen Miles looking for his first career Napa fan win. Will it come? Excuse me. The cold finally got to me. Will it come in the Thanksgiving 500? We'll have to see. Going to be less than 10 laps to go in the restart here in the 2019 NOFSRL Thanksgiving 500.
Oh.
And just as we are coming back, Christopher Altheby has an issue. He was going to restart in the 5th position. And we alluded to this earlier on. These guys rev the engine so much that engine failures are bound to happen. Just too much on the number 99 machine, and he is going to be done for the day. However, it could be a tire issue. It also could be a tire issue. If it's a tire issue, it's not as bad, but he's not going to come back and have a shot at this race victory, most likely, because they're coming to the green flag right here. They're not going to wait for him. So now it's going to leave Owen Miles, the race leader. Alex Russell, Max and Newworth has a little bit of damage. Remember, Ashland Boyd hit him on the pit lane. Hergel Arvin Alonso and the 60 machine of Zach Winkle. That's the top 5. 2 guys ahead of these guys, Bradley Ream and Logan York, both on the tail end of the lead lap. Actually, the 02 is a lap down, I believe. And guys out of the race from all that happened there. Number 7 of Cole Sampson. Not entirely sure what happened to him. Zachary Fitzwater, Landon Smith Jr., Jesse Turner, Emmanuel Hartnett, Thomas Troxel, and Jeremiah Duane. We have ourselves 27 guys on the lead lap, 26 guys on the official lead lap, of course. Christopher Alpi is one of those guys. He has just come down the pit lane, so at least 25 guys in contention for the race victory here, with 10 laps to go in the Thanksgiving 500.
Yeah, a lot of guys are going to try and go for it all here in the final 10 laps of this race, and I can definitely say that for a fact. As you can see, Owen Miles currently leading the event, Alex Russell in second, Erdelarvin Alonso in third. Anybody has a chance, and as you can see, Alex Russell going to take an advantage on Owen Miles here. Going to go to the inside. Is Erdelarvin Alonso going to take a peek? He will not. But look at the guy in fourth, Logan York.
He's a lap down, unfortunately.
Oh, for some reason
I think Marty did that when we had the NOFSRL versus NRLOA battle. They used to always be Black Friday. That happened 2 years ago. And boy, was he freaking out when a lap car was going to the inside for the race lead, but it wasn't for the race lead. But I caught you there. Sorry about that. But yeah, Logan York is a lap down at this point. He's actually 2 laps down at the moment, but he's going for the inside. And Landon Smith Jr. is back out there. That is dangerous. Split the pack up again. Bradley Ream in the middle there, and they're 4 wide.
I don't like how that looks.
Matt 88 is really, really slow, and you got to remember, it was a very similar situation to this that caused the yellow to come out earlier on. Hopefully they figure it out back in there for the race lead. Christian Vargas to the point. First time we've seen him up front all day. And Johnny Gardner in the number 12. He's one of those guys who benefited off the caution. He was in that second pack. And now he's to the outside looking for the race lead. He's not going to get it, though. Only unless Logan York holds up the inside. Christopher Alfie also on that inside. But Vargas remaining out front of the 66. Gardner falls back. Oh, into the wall hard! Max Neuwirth in the 77, and it's a big one. Nathan Baird also caught up. Trey Wright in the pit road wall. And Neuwirth is destroyed in the 77. Bradley Ream as well. There's the 01 machine of Noah Clifton also torn up. And Nathan Baird, who was the dominant guy earlier on in this race, is also torn up. A massive, massive accident. Neuwirth took a vicious hit to the outside wall.
Yeah, he did. Oh my goodness. That was... It's good the car's still driving away after that one. Man, that was hard.
Got into with Bradley Ream. And there's a very, very good reason why this place does not exist in real life.
Yeah.
That would have been bad if it happened in real life. That hit was probably over 200 miles per hour. That is just not good.
No, that is not.
But thankfully, as Alex said earlier on, it's a video game. We'll have to see if anyone tops off here. I doubt that anyone will. And with that, it's going to clear out Bradley Ream. And Logan York was ahead of all this. So he's going to be able to drive back around and head to the back of the field. So it's going to leave only the guys on the lead lap up front to battle it out for the final few laps of this race. With Christian Vargas now leading the field in the number 66. We have not seen him that much in this race, but now here he is leading this field. We're going to have a restart with only a couple laps left in this race. Do you think he's going to hold off and get the victory?
I honestly think that might not be the case. As you kind of seen on the past few restarts, a lot of these drivers, they kind of just start pairing up as soon as the green flag drops. And usually at that time, the leader starts breaking away. And as the leader breaks away, a lot of these drivers start catching up. And in my case, I think Christian Vargas, I'm not going to say like he's not going to be the one to come out of nowhere and win it, but I think it's going to be a real struggle if he does.
We'll have to see what happens on the restart. Let's quickly see what happened to bring out the third caution of the day here in the Thanksgiving 500. Bradley Ream in the number 20. He was going about 15 miles per hour slower than the 26 of Nathan Baird in the closing rate. Such a factor in this race, that number 26 getting into the 20, sending Bradley Ream into Max Neuwirth. And they both went up into the outside. Well, that's such a tough break for Neuwirth. Had a good shot at this one. He is destroyed. A hard hit to the outside wall, and then Nathan Baird got caught up in that one. Later on, Trey Wright had nowhere to go as Baird came down. But how about... Oh, I thought he was going to clear it. Nate, that was Mark Davison there. But how about Justin Zeidel?
Oh,
Justin
man.
Zeidel avoided this one.
Yeah, he did really good job right there. Just trying to find a way through all the smoke and through all the heck that was breaking loose, and just out of nowhere, he figured out enough to where he can just be able to back the car down enough, make it through the wreck, kind of just check up, and from there he He made it through, and no damage to the car whatsoever, but a tough break for a lot of the people like Trey Wright and a lot of other guys involved, especially Nathan Baird, your Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion. He had a good run heading in, and now that car going right to the scrapyard. And as my friend Benny said before, the closing rate doesn't work, and a hard impact for Max Newworth, Nathan Baird. Your Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion goes from hero to zero in just that moment. And a lot of other drivers out as well.
Also involved there. So Trey Wright, of course, Bradley Reams out of the race. That's definitely going to knock out Landon Smith. That had nothing to do with Landon Smith. We saw him earlier on, and we thought he could be an issue. Nathan Baird also caught up in that one. Obviously, he was the one who actually started it technically. Tough break for all those guys, but it is going to give us one heck of a show to finish this thing out. Who's going to get it done? Only a few laps left in the 2019 NOFSRL Thanksgiving 500. Who's going to get it on Thanksgiving morning at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway? Let's find out right about now.
This is really going to shape up the restart. It really is. They come back to the line. It's 3 laps to go. And a lot of these drivers, I don't even know what to say other than they're basically just, they almost have a demon in them. They almost have a speed demon in them. And it's going to come out here when they take the green flag. Because it's the last 3 laps. One of the biggest events of the season. That's a non-points event. And it's all for glory. So, in the end, your moves are either going to make you a hero or they're going to make you a loser right in that moment. So
Christian Vargas gonna lead him to the restart with only 3 laps to go. And I'd like to say it has been a great event. Once again, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys watching. We definitely appreciate your viewership.
Yes.
Afterwards, go ahead and spend some time with your family. That's more important than what we do here. And never take your family for granted.
No.
Definitely show some love here today, as you have to us. Christian Vargas, we'll have to see if he shows this race some love. Or vice versa. It's Vargas, Alex Russell, Zach Winkle, Fisher G, Johnny Gardner, the top 5. Alonso is in 6th. Watch out for the 2015 winner. 3 laps to go in the Thanksgiving 500. Who's going to get it done in the Coca-Cola Superspeedway?
Well, on the restart right there, you can already see, as I said before, 3 laps to go. The speed demon breaks out in all these drivers, and you can see with Zach Winkle in particular, he's going to go to the inside of Alex Russell for 2nd. Now he's going to try and go after Christian Vargas for the lead, and as you can see, Fisher G back there in 3rd. He's going to take a peek underneath Zach Winkle. He has the number 12 following him as well. Now it's going to go for a battle here.
Christian Vargas remaining out front. Winkle going to try to get to the inside. Winkle has never won before on Napa Fan. He's going for his first career Napa Fan win and a huge opportunity for him in one of the biggest races of the year. Coming to the line, it's going to be 2 laps to go in the 2019 Thanksgiving 500. There goes Alonso to the inside. That is for the 3rd position. But Zach Winkle holding on to the race lead. They're all bunching up right there. Fisher G on the inside. You also got Adam Garcia there as well. Bobo Jones and Owen Miles on the inside lane. I believe it's going to be one of those guys. Everyone else is a little too far behind. 1.5 laps to go in the Thanksgiving 500.
Zach Winkle doing a very good job so far, but don't leave out Harold Alonso in that 2nd spot at the moment because he could pounce at any given moment
to try and get back the lead. He's way up the racetrack right there, but is he anticipating the 60 coming down? No. White flag is in the air for Zach Winkle in the number 60. Who would have thunk it? Here he is leading the field with 1 lap to go, but they're going to have a lot of guys behind him. There's Adam Garcia in the 2, Alonso in the 22. They're going to close right after the back bumper of Zach Winkle in this final lap. There goes Alonso for 2nd.
There goes Alonso.
Alonso's going to have a shot here. He doesn't have any help behind him, though. Will he get a run to the inside, entering turn number 3?
Come on, Alonso. Come on, buddy. You can try and get this 2nd turkey or Thanksgiving 500. Once again, the other mistake right there. Come on, buddy. Get this 2nd win for us.
He might not get there. Zach Winkle had the help from the outside lane. Alonso's going to have one more shot, but he doesn't have any help. It's over. Zach Winkle, the number 60, is going to win his first career Napa Fan race in the Thanksgiving 500.
Oh my goodness, Zach Winkle, congratulations on your Thanksgiving 500 victory. You honestly deserved that, man. You did really good, and you held off a hard-charging pack of many drivers to hold this off. You definitely deserve it, man. Congratulations.
How about that for Zach Winkle, getting it done for his first career Napa fan win. It's not his first career start, of course, but a huge victory to boost his career. He had to hold off a past winner of this race to get it done, but they just spread out a little too much at the end for anyone to get around him. And Zach Winkle is your champion of the 2019 NOFSRL Thanksgiving 500.
And hopefully this will start a new tradition of first-time winners in the Thanksgiving 500. Of course, you said this is not his first start on the channel or even possibly in this event, but it is his first Thanksgiving 500 win. Hopefully this will start a new streak of drivers, at least within the future to come, getting their first Thanksgiving 500 victories.
It's the second time we have seen a driver win his first career Napa fan race in the Thanksgiving 500. Of course, it happened with Jordan Lopez last year. You take a look at the official standings of the race, and as you can tell, a lot of retirees here in this one. Maybe a little bit too many, but you know what? It's a special event. That's just the way these special events go sometimes, and tough break to see it. But how about that one for Andrew Alonso? A second-place run, almost got it again. Adam Garcia, Alex Russell, Owen Miles there in the 5th position. Great run for him. Christian Fergus restarted in the 1st position, fell all the way back to 6th. Bobo Jones, your pick to win in 7th. Great run for Johnny Gardner and Joe Rutkowski. Efficiency rounding out the top 10. As you take a look at the full results right there, and you definitely see at the end of the field right there, so many guys getting knocked out to accidents. A little bit one of the more atrocious Thanksgiving 500s that we have had, no doubt about it, but a tough break that a lot of those guys did not get a shot after the race victory later on.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate set of circumstances for all those drivers that have crashed out of this event, but man, you know, as you said, this race isn't for points. It's all for glory, and of course, right now, that number 60 driver is... man, I can't even put it into words.
He's excited.
Yeah,
he is thankful. He is thankful for the opportunity. He's thankful for the race victory. And I hope you guys are thankful for what we do. But I will definitely say I am thankful for you guys, and especially you, Alex. One of my best buddies. Love doing these races with you. One of the best guys I co-commentate with, and that's why you do these major events with me. But what are you thankful for on this Thanksgiving Day?
Well, of course, first thing I can't be thankful for without it is my family. And I definitely can't be thankful for everyone in this NR community. I mean, I know I've definitely scaled back a lot of my commentating this past season, but hopefully to come within the next year, we can do a lot more of these. I can come on a lot more. Hopefully from there on, you probably see me almost on a regular occurrence if that's ever possible. Anything can happen, and you know, I'm happy to do these because these things, these races, they're always amazing to me. That is the whole deal.
We had another amazing one here today. Like I mentioned, I'm thankful for all you guys who support the channel and support the whole Understand 3 community. You guys mean so much to me over the past 5 years. You've given me something to do with my life that has meaning, and I'm glad I can entertain all you guys with these races. Of course, I'm thankful for all my friends, thankful for my family, and thank you for the man upstairs as well, for all the blessings he's given me as well. It has been a great year on Napa Fan, a great year in general, and I'm a junior in college. I don't know where my life's going to be in a couple of years, but I'm pretty sure I'm still going to be here for you guys because you guys mean so much for me, and I can't thank you guys enough for all that you do. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, and have a great day. Spend a lot of time with your family. Just be thankful for what you got. You got a lot of blessings to count, and it's always good to recognize them. But thank you so much for joining me, Alex. Final thoughts on this race for Zach getting the race victory. Looking forward to next year's race already?
Oh, I definitely am. Just to think about last year's race being intense, if you would have told me then that this year's race was going to be intense, I'd probably say that might be typical. But if you were to tell me that a first-time winner was going to win this race last year, I would have said, you're crazy. And for the fact that Zach Winkle took home the victory right then and there, man, that is great for him. And hopefully, heading into the next year, he has more opportunities open up for him. I think they will, for the fact that, you know, this kind of just showed today that you may be the most dominant driver out there in the race, such as the case for Logan York and Nathan Baird. But if you're the dark horse in it, and you know you can fight towards the end, you can win this race. And Zach Winkle has proven that today.
He definitely has first career Napa fan win in one of the biggest races of the year. Josh Marzak, Audra Baranowskis, and Zach Winkle winning the big three on Napa fan in 2019. How about that? But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Alex, for joining me once again. And thank you very much. God bless you all. You are some of the best fans I could ever ask for. Some of the best friends I could ever ask for. And hope to do this for many years to come. But either way, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys watching one last time. And we thank you guys so much for watching the 2019 Thanksgiving 500. We'll see you once again next year for this great event. We'll see you throughout the year on Napa Fan with many different races. So much is coming up here. I'm definitely excited for it. And I'm definitely excited to share all the great stuff we got coming up in the NOFSRL. That's it. Congratulations to Zach Winkle on his race victory. On behalf of Alex Bonks, we appreciate you guys watching here on this Thanksgiving Day. And we'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow night, we got Jerk Hill Truck Series action from Chicagoland. But either way, that is it for me. That's it from my man Alex Bonks. Happy Thanksgiving. And I will see you guys later.